So who all are planning to come to college? The college is opening on 7th.
Lalit.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. हमारी क्लास में है कोई ललित?
No, ma'am.
Okay. ये तुम हर चीज के लिए तुम ललित का नाम ले लेते हो ना?
मयंक आएगा, मयंक
आएगा. So you are not excited to come to college?
I'm very much excited, but सुना है कि फिर से
The
lockdown
cases are on the rise.
2 days in a week.
Right. Yeah, it's not sensible to come. Anyway, some of you are like super excited. Maybe the excitement level is more in another section, that is section B. So, yeah. We'll start in 2 more minutes. Let others join. I gave you one assignment also, no? Last time?
Which one?
Okay, I got it.
we were supposed to send on the group the questions.
The questions
You just sent
already, no?
one link of measurement and scales.
No, that
No,
that
you had to mention only which question, what is this the scale for each question. You already have everything, no? You already have that scan sheet. For each case, that is for Dell, Wendy, and what was the third one? IBM, I think.
JP Morgan.
JP Morgan.
Yes. So I shared that scan sheet with you, which has the questionnaire. You have to just mention that for first question, what is the scale? Say if gender is the question, then the scale is nominal, right? You have to just mention this. Okay. Okay, let me start. So we discussed measurement is scaling in our last session. What is measurement? So I discussed one example of height. So why we are taking measurement? Basically, what we are doing here is we are assigning certain numbers to certain characteristic, and there are certain rules involved, like how you measure height. You use measuring tape, and then you level up the measuring tape with the person who is standing, and then check what are the inches, whatever is given on that scale. So that was about measurement, and we discussed 4 different types of measurement. What are these? What are the 4 different types of measurement?
Nominal, ordinal.
Nominal, ordinal,
ratio, interval.
Ratio and interval. And what is nominal? Let's discuss this, just revise these concepts again quickly. Yeah, what is nominal? What is nominal scale?
It's like assigning numbers to the objects. And here the number doesn't indicate different objects.
Okay, numbers doesn't mean anything.
Like the jersey number of any sports person.
Yes, example, jersey number. And I gave one more example. For example, yeah, this one, gender. Okay, now the second one is ordinal. Ordinal means?
Number have meaning.
Number, definite rank.
Number ranking.
Ranking, yes. There's ranking, basically order. And any example that you can give for ordinal?
Top 3 footballers.
Yeah, like top 3 footballers.
Ma'am, rank in a competitive exam.
Rank in a competitive exam. Yes. Okay. But there's difference between the scores and grades, right? Okay. So that was ordinal. What is interval?
Rating,
Interval is
like
rating.
equal interval.
There is this equal interval,
Having
right?
equal differences.
Equal differences, right? And can you tell me any example for interval scale?
Ma'am, like from numbers 1 to 5, starting from good to bad, like satisfactory, very satisfactory.
Temperature.
Yes, temperature.
Right. So we discuss interval scale, and the last one is ratio. So what is ratio?
The differences are
Percentage.
meaningful here.
Sorry, what?
The differences are meaningful in the ratio,
Yeah,
and
that
it has 2 0.
2-0.
is
For example, income.
yes. For example, income. Okay, so your account number, say I say bank account number, is what scale will fall under which of these 4? Your bank account number.
Nominal.
Yes, nominal.
Nominal.
Right. And if I say sales figures or ad spend, this is in rupees. Sale, advertisement is spent.
Ratios.
This is sale ratios, yes. Okay, and which scale is the best?
Depending upon the scenario, if you want 2 zeros, then ratio.
Okay.
Otherwise, interval.
Let me reframe this, that on which scale can you do all the analysis, all the stats?
In the ratio one.
Yes, ratios.
Ratios.
So we discussed all that. We also compared these scales. Today, what we are going to do is that we have, okay, so these are certain analysis that you can do. You can go through the slides, okay? Okay, student class rank is what scale? Class rank.
Ma'am, ordinal.
Ordinal, yes. And but if I ask GP?
Interval.
Interval.
Interval. Okay, and I think you'll be able to do this now. I'm just skipping the slide. Okay, so classification of a scaling technique. So there are 2 different types of scaling techniques. One is comparative scales and one is non-comparative scales. So understand that comparative scales, you know, you are comparing, there's direct comparison involved. And there are 4 different types of scales in under comparative scales. That is paired comparison, rank order, constant sum, and Q sort. So let's come to paired comparison, but before that, let's understand more about what is comparative and non-comparative. Comparative is basically your ordinal and nominal. Okay, more of ranking. And non-comparative is your rating scales. So that is interval and ratio. That kind of data is captured here. So a comparison of scaling techniques, comparative scales involves direct comparison. Okay, it is more interpreted in terms of relative terms and have ordinal or rank orders properties. So if I ask, you prefer Coke or Pepsi? So that's a comparative scale. Or what do you like watching? A movie or reading a book? That is a comparative scale. So we are comparing between 2. It is also referred to as non-metric scaling. So because the data is captured, is ordinal or nominal, basically rank order. So that's why it's also called as non-metric scaling. Whereas in non-comparative, there is, each object is scaled independently. We'll check this. What is Likert and what is non-comparative scales. And the resulting data is interval or ratio scale. So the advantages of comparative scaling is that the small differences can be detected because you are comparing two objects. Second is that reference point is same. It's easily understood and can be applied, and there are fewer theoretical assumptions, and some halo effect is you can reduce that halo effect also. And these are some disadvantages. Let's check the one example, then you'll be able to understand. So ordinal nature and inability to generalize beyond a stimulus object. So first example is of comparative scaling is paired comparison. What do you understand by paired comparison? क्या लगता है? What is paired comparison?
Ma'am, more or less.
More or less. Basically, actually, you are comparing two objects. Like I said, no, Pepsi or Coke. You are comparing. You are comparing in pairs. So a respondent is presented with two objects and asked to select one according to some criteria. For example, if I ask, do you prefer Coke or Pepsi? Do you prefer reading books or watching movies? Okay, so you are comparing. The respondent is asked to compare between two objects. So that is paired comparison. It is widely used for comparative scaling techniques. And there's assumption of transitivity. I'll come on that. What does transitivity means? Okay, so the number of scaling decisions that one has to take is n into n minus 1 by 2. For example, if I say you have to do paired comparison of 5 brands. Okay, so how many pairs you will create? If there are 5 brands, say A, B, C, D, E. Then A, B, A, C, A with D, A with E. So total number of pairs will be how many?
10.
10, right. So these are decisions. Number of scaling decisions are 10. Okay. So what is transitivity of preference? If A is preferred to B and B is preferred to C, then we can say that A is preferred to C, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is just that. This is just that simple. This is called transitivity of preference. And I think I showed you this example also. We discussed about the number of times it's preferred.
Yes, ma'am. We did it in the last class.
Yeah, and then how to convert the number of reference to rank. So we counted these numbers. And we said, okay, this is rank 1. This is the most preferred one, head and shoulders and all. Okay, this we have covered. So there are certain constraints, or say there are certain disadvantages of paired comparison scaling. First is that paired comparison scaling is useful when the number of brands is limited. For example, if you have 30 brands, okay, and if you are doing paired comparison, just calculate the number of scaling decisions that you have to make. N into n minus 1 by 2, 30 into 29 by 2. Okay, that many scaling decisions. So use this method when you have less number of brands. Other advantage is, so when a number of brands are less, then you go for this paired comparison. Other disadvantage is that violations of assumption of transitivity. So when we are saying, okay, between A and B, which one you are preferring? You say B. Okay, now between B and C, which one do you prefer? And you say C. And then you compared, okay, between A to B, it's B, and between B to C, it's C, then A is preferred over C, whatever. You come to that transition. But this is not actually correct all the time. So there is this disadvantage. There can be some bias. In terms of it, the bias can also arise in terms of order. If I put A and B and then I put B and A, so that bias can also come. So This is the second disadvantage. Third is little resemblance to marketplace situation. So it doesn't happen in market that when you are going in a supermarket and you are seeing, 10 different types of juice. So you see all the juice, packs at the same time. It's not that you have only two and then you have to make a decision, and then you come with another two and then you have to make a decision. So that market situation resemblance is little here in paired comparison scale. Okay, so let me show you this case study of paired comparison. This test was done between new Coke and old Coke, and so the consumers were asked to sample two different products and select the one with the most appealing taste. So 1,000 responses were captured for this, and a blind taste test for soft drink was done. What do you understand by blind taste test? So a blind taste test for a soft drink where imagery, self-perception, brand reputation are very important factors in the consumer's purchasing decision may not be a good indicator of performance in the market. Just park it for some time. So the introduction of New Coke illustrates this point. New Coke was heavily favored in blind paired comparison taste tests, but its introduction was less than successful because image plays a major role in the purchase of Coke. So what happened was, in that paired comparison test, respondents were asked to drink new Coca-Cola and the old Coca-Cola. Okay, and the paired comparison was in favor of new Coke. But when it was introduced in the market, people were not liking the product that much. People were still buying Coke more, old one. So the market situations are different. That's why I said, this point. Just a second. Yeah. That transitivity or the market situations, it doesn't resemble the market situation. Did we mention? Yeah. Yeah, little resemblance to marketplace situation. So are you able to understand what is paired comparison? You just show two objects and just ask which one do you prefer? Okay. And this I have already discussed, and you can then convert this data to rank order data, and you can rank which one is the most preferred. Okay, coming to rank order scaling, how is it different from paired comparison? So in rank order scaling, you say if you have 10 brands, you will show all 10 brands and you will ask, okay, rank the first one, the one that is your most preferred brand as rank one. And then the second one, third one, whatever you feel is important, rank the other brands. So what you are doing is you are not giving two brands. You are showing all 10 brands. So that is rank order scaling. Respondents are presented with several objects simultaneously and asked to order or rank them according to some criteria. It is possible that respondents may dislike the brand ranked one in an absolute sense. कोई भी उन्हें पसंद नहीं है brand तो okay, although he is ranking it as number one, but still he might dislike the brand. Furthermore, rank order scaling also results in ordinal data, commonly used to measure preferences for brands as well as attributes. So this is one example for rank order scaling. So what we are doing here, we are asking for preference for toothpaste brands using rank order scaling. So the instruction, read this instruction here, rank the various brands of toothpaste in order of preference. Begin by picking out the one brand that you like most and assign it a number 1. Then find the second most preferred brand and assign it a number 2. And continue this process until you have ranked all the brands of toothpaste in order of preference. So the least preferred brand should be assigned a rank of 10. Okay, so can you tell me how many scaling decisions one has to make here? Number of scaling decisions. Like in paired comparison, we
45.
yeah. Can you give me okay like 9? But how come 45? No, not 45. Are you calculating it 9 into n minus 1 by 2 was in paired comparison?
I'm 10 factorial.
Not even 10 factorial. 10 factorial is 10 into 9 into 8. No. Only n minus 1. So whatever number of brands are there, usse ek kam, because last one to already you will not count. वो तो last ही बचेगा. So that is n minus 1. As compared to paired comparisons, rank order scaling process more closely resembles the shopping environment. So yeah, so first is you make only n minus 1 scaling decisions need to be made in rank order scaling, whereas in paired comparison, you are making n into n minus 1 by 2 decisions. ये समझ में आया? Because you are showing 10 brands and you are saying, okay, in 10 में से the one which you like the most, put it as rank 1, उसके बाद बाकी जो बचे. So already there are 10, you are comparing between these 10. और last वाले को तो आप compare ही नहीं करोगे, that's why it's n minus 1. Okay. So क्या advantages हैं rank order scaling के over pair comparison? When should we go with rank order scaling? So as compared to paired comparison, rank order scaling process more closely resembles a shopping environment. When you are doing shopping, you have all 10, say you have all 10 brands in front of you. You are buying perfume, you have all brands of perfume in front of you. It's not 1 and 2 and then you have to make a comparison between two. It's not like that. It more closely resembles a shopping environment. And it takes less time, eliminates transitive responses that A is preferred on B, then B is preferred on C, then we'll say, okay, A is preferred on C, whatever. So that transitive responses, it eliminates, and then there are less number of scaling decisions. So किसमें number of brands ज़्यादा होंगे तो हम वो कर सकते हैं. Which method should we take if we have large number of brands?
Rank order.
Pairing.
Rank order scaling.
Rank order.
Because the number of decisions that you are making is higher in jaldi.
Paired.
Yes, in paired. Okay, then next, the third one is constant sum scaling. So what is constant sum scale? It is that you are given certain points or certain number, and you are asked that, okay, these are the attributes of a product, and you have to distribute these numbers according to the importance that you attach to an attribute. For example, if I say, considering a product, say mobile, okay, what are the various attributes of a mobile? Like battery. So when you are purchasing, say mobile, what are the various parameters that you look for?
Camera, battery, screen.
Camera, battery,
system,
screen, and operating software.
OS.
Yes, and anything, price, let's say price.
Warranty.
Price, warranty, yes. So now if I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. If I say, okay, you have to distribute this 100 points among these 7 attributes. Okay, you give, say, 20 to battery, okay, 15 to camera, whatever. But you have to give it so that the sum should not be less or more than 100. It should add to 100. So what you are doing here is that you are asking respondent to give numbers according to the importance of a respondent attaches. Let's see one example, and then you will be able to understand that this kind of data, what kind of insights you can do if you use this constant sum scaling. So respondents allocate a constant sum of units, such as 100 points to attributes of a product to reflect their importance. If an attribute is unimportant, the respondent assigns it 0 points. He can give 0 also. If an attribute is twice as important as some other attribute, it receives twice as many points. The sum of all the points is 100, hence the name of the scale. So you can ask to distribute like 100, you can ask to distribute 500, that depends on you. This is just an example. So this is an example. We want to know the importance of bathing soap attributes using a constant sum scale. So the instruction goes like this. Below are 8 attributes of toilet soaps. Please allocate 100 points among the attributes so that your allocation reflects the relative importance you attach to each attribute. The more points an attribute receives, the more important the attribute is. If an attribute is not at all important, assign 0 point. If an attribute is twice as important, you should give double the points. Okay, so these are 3 segments, and they have score, given these points on these attributes: mildness, lather, shrinkage, price, fragrance, packaging, moisturizing, cleaning power, and the sum is 100. Can you say anything about this segment 1? Anything that you can see from this data? By seeing this data, can you say anything about segment 1?
Here price plays a significant
Yes,
role.
ma'am.
Price?
The price attribute has got the highest, marks.
Yes. So they are giving a lot of importance to price. Okay. What about segment 2?
And the cleaning powder.
Cleaning
It
powder.
is leading all the other attributes by 60.
Right. Clean. And about segment 3?
Moisturizing.
Moisturizing.
Moisturizing. But also
And fragrance. Yes, ma'am. Clothes.
Actually differentiated. Say leather also, and even cleaning power. So all these elements are more important, more valuable for segment 3. Whereas segment 1 is more of, price conscious, economical segment. And segment 2 is like if it has the basic property, cleaning power, good to go kind of thing. Okay, so let's see. So the relative importance, that information cannot be obtained from rank order data. Are you able to see that? The rank order data, जब हमने सारे brands दिए and we asked them to rank. So सिर्फ उसमें वहाँ पर क्या होता अगर हम if you would have given these attributes, the list of these attributes, and would have said, okay, mildness को, shrinkage को, just you rank it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, तो ये segment 1 ऐसे rank कर देता, maybe price को 1 करता, पता नहीं, and segment 2 ऐसे rank करता. But what is the important? What is the relative importance? वो वाला data. This is the positive of constant sum scale. Relative importance cannot be obtained from rank order data. Constant sum scale also has an absolute 0. So 10 points are twice as many as 5 points. A difference between 5 and 2 points is the same as a difference between 57 and 54 points. So इसे कभी-कभी metric scale भी बोलते हैं, but because it lacks generalizability and comparative nature, it should be considered as ordinal scale only. Okay. So are you able to understand the difference between these 3 scales? How to convert the, this paired comparison scale data to rank from preference? What kind of questions you are asking here? And what are the positives, rank order scaling? What are the number of decisions that you make? And which one to use when, if the number of brands are more, which scale you should use, if number of brands are less, which scale you should use, and what kind of information you get from constant sum scale, what all you can comment. Like here we saw in segment 1, 2, and 3, which is most important parameter, and here in segment 3 is all these 4 parameters got distributed points, so basically all 4 are important. Okay, next is your non-comparative scales. Okay, non-comparative scales. And there are these are of two types. One is continuous rating scales, and second is your itemized rating scales. So in itemized rating scales, we'll look at Likert, what is semantic referential, and staple. Okay, what is continuous rating scale? So respondents rate the object by placing a mark at the appropriate position on a line that runs from one extreme of the criterion variable to the other. So it's basically it's continuous, and respondents has to, you are not giving any numbers. You are just saying, okay, this extreme is, let's go on this example first. How would you rate the Sears as a department store? Probably the worst and probably the best. And you are giving just a continuum, graphically, in CAPI somewhere, sometimes you get these sliders. Okay, these sliders, and you have to just move the slider. So it's more of, graphical scale. This is the other name is graphical scale. You are giving just two extremes. The respondent has to allocate where he finds that, put yourself on mute. Okay, so in continuous rating scale, basically you are giving a continuum. You are not giving any numbers. You are just saying, it's more of a graphical approach, that you are saying, okay, this is the worst and this is the best. And the respondent, judges by this, by the closeness, or maybe by a slider, by the closeness. Okay, that, okay, this product should be here, or the rating that you are going to give is somewhere here, probably the best. So see, there are no markings given here. Okay, this is continuous rating scale, but there are different versions of this scale as well. So this is the version 1. Second version is that when you give some numbers, see 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So, okay, if I'm like, okay, 60, 70, you can make, okay, the rating I'm giving is 70 to Sears department store. There is third version also, where what you are doing, you are also mentioning it as very bad, neither good nor bad, very good. And then you are asking rating. So if I give 50, then it means I'm neutral. Okay. So here probably the worst, here probably the best, that is 80, 90, 100, and 0 to 20 is worst. And then I have given this very bad, neither good, all these things. So these are different versions of continuous rating scale. Okay, so after that, this is part of your non-comparative scales. So we have done this continuous rating scales. Let's come to itemized rating. Okay, so in an itemized rating scale, the respondents are provided with a scale that has a number or brief description associated with each category. So it is like more understandable for, respondent, for more understanding that, what does each number means. And you can give brief description about that category also. And categories are ordered in terms of scale positions. Obviously, so 5 is better than 4, 4 is better than 3. But how better, that is because we are giving these ratings. And what does that mean? Whether it's satisfaction is scales, or whether it's like dissatisfied, not satisfied. Let me show you one example here. So Likert scale is an itemized rating scale. The question is, using microcomputers improves my job performance. How much on a scale of 1 to 5 do you agree or disagree with this, where 1 means strongly disagree and 5 means strongly agree? So this is how you frame the question. You ask them to rate, or on this parameter, how much would you rate on a scale of 1 to 5, and then you describe that scale. That 1 means strongly disagree and 5 means strongly agree. And then this scale, they can see this scale, and each item, see, each item description is given here. 1 means strongly disagree, 2 means disagree to some extent, 3 is uncertain, some kind of neutral kind of thing, then agree to some extent, and then strongly agree. So if I get a mean, say if I get a mean of 4.5, what do you understand by that? So total sample is like more towards positive or more towards negative? If I get a 4.5, this
It
is
is towards positive.
Positive.
yeah, towards positive. And you can also break it down, you know, during analysis, you can break it down as top to bottom, top to box, T2B. This is short form we use, top to box. And this is bottom to box, B2B. And if you get some, you know, like the mean is say 3.2, what can you infer? If you calculate the mean, you ask say 100 respondents the same question, and then you whatever responses each person is giving, somebody is saying 5, someone is saying 4, someone is saying 3, someone is saying 2, and total mean you calculate is 3.2. What you can you infer from this? And then there is going to be second question, but yes, first is that what can you infer from this?
That the average
Certain.
average from the group of people whom we have tested is 3.2 response.
But what does that mean?
They are
Positive.
uncertain about the.
They are uncertain. That is called blank responses, or isn't not blank as in, you know, they are not going to any extremities. They are not, neither they are on disagreement nor they are in agreement. And you know, it can happen because of some error also. We will discuss that in next session, what kind of error it is called. But a good way of doing, you know, analyzing this kind of data is not to go with mean, but to check your top to box and bottom to box. So क्या होता है mean में, when you do mean of, you know, of all these numbers, so it may happen कि जितने हमारे strongly agree थे उतने ही हमारे disagree वाले थे, और वो mix होके when you are taking that mean, तो mean हमारा कुछ uncertain पे आ गया. Okay, it's always a good thing that you check the percentage of top to box or just individual percentages of these, and don't go just by mean. Okay, ये समझ में आया तुम्हें?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, what is the difference between this one and semantic? This one and the continuous one?
So in continuous, you are giving a continuum. You are not mentioning each and every item. So in itemized rating scheme means you are describing, you are giving a description of each item. Here respondent is just, you know, this is something hazy. This is something that you are not definitely pointing out कि अच्छा 5 का मतलब is strongly disagree या strongly agree है. It is something that a respondent is finding out but just by checking it कि okay, यहाँ पर स्लाइडर किया कि इतना ही एग्री करते हैं या इतना ही बेस्ट करते हैं. There is no such definition given here. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So not every marking is defined in this.
Yes, not every marking is defined. Whereas in itemized, every, you know, marking is defined here.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Description to each item. Okay. Now, what is semantic differential? So, semantic differential is when you are using opposite verbs. Okay. For example, using a computer in my job is fun or frustrating. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you are giving this. So if it is more towards fun, you would say 2 or 1. Okay. And if it is more towards frustrating, you would say 6 or 7. So you are using these terms, but these are bipolar. This is also called bipolar. So when you will do your live project, no, you will understand that how certain question should be asked. It's not wise to ask a certain question on Likert scale. Because you don't get responses. जब bipolar होता है, respondent is much more able to answer that कि okay fun side में ज़्यादा या frustrating. You are just trying the respondent to come to one extreme. Uncertain वाले में यहाँ पर neutral में आ जाएगा respondent if he is giving a neutral answer. So it's always better to use that bipolar scale. तो वो neutral पे ना आए. ये 3 सब जगह अगर 3 आ जाता है then it's an error. It's not moving towards any of the extremes. So that's why here we use these bipolar scales. अच्छा यहाँ पर there's one more thing. What we generally do in market research is that we don't give this number, positive number to higher side. क्या कर देते हैं हम reverse कर देते हैं. Frustrating इधर करेंगे and we'll put fun here. तो जैसे numbers आते हैं तो okay 6, 7, 5 higher numbers means positive and we also think in terms of progressive way. अगर तुम respondents को कई बार ये भी error आता है आप respondents को ये सब दिखाते हो you show them proper scales fun frustrating but still they tend to give higher numbers to positive attributes. So this is a tip, like always use positive higher numbers for positives. Okay, so there's one more example for semantic scale. Say important, say good or bad, extremely, quite, slightly, or important, unimportant. Okay, these bipolar, expensive, inexpensive, useful, useless, strong, weak, quick, slow. So you can go through your case study, you can check certain questionnaires there. जरूरी नहीं है that if you have selected Dell case study just कि सिर्फ Dell वाला questionnaire देखो, Wendy's का भी questionnaire देखो और जो third one is JP Morgan उसका भी questionnaire देखो. Okay, then there is a concept of reliability and validity. So I'm not going in depth of this reliability and validity, but what do you understand by reliability? What do you understand by the reliability of scales?
Ma'am, if they are without any bias or error, reliable.
Yeah. अच्छा फिर validity. What is validity then? So these two are very confusing terms, reliability, validity, and the third one is sensitivity.
Validity might be for how long it may sustain.
For how long it may sustain. Okay, I've already discussed this internal validity, internal validity and external validity.
Yes,
Internal
ma'am.
validity discuss किया था, क्या होता है वो internal validity?
Ankush, please.
Ankush, please. What is internal validity? सब भूल गए?
मैम इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल.
हाँ और बताओ internal validity, independent variable. एक ही पॉइंट बताया तुमने अभी, independent variable. और so there was this
Ma'am,
dependent.
it's beyond the control of the researcher. Internal validity.
But what does internal validity mean?
It's an extent to which the individual variable is responsible for variation in the dependent variable.
The extent to which independent variable is responsible for variation in dependent variable. But इसमें क्या आ जाता था? There is something called extraneous variable. Extraneous variable क्या था?
Yes, ma'am. It's influenced by other dependent variables that are not part of the group
Mm-hmm.
or the study.
Mm-hmm. So extraneous variables were the variables which were not independent variable but were affecting your dependent variable. क्या example दिया था मैंने इसका? Internal validity में extraneous variable का. Or let's come to first external validity.
Ma'am, Kshitij will tell.
Lalit,
Lalit, this is hypothetical person in my class.
Ma'am, it's not hypothetical.
Picturize.
ये मैम ललित है क्लास में, यहीं बैठा है मैम वो.
What is external validity?
Ma'am, extent to which the findings of the experiment can be generalized.
Yes, extent to which.
Like ma'am, exit polls.
Yes, not example. That's not the example of exit polls, but if you are taking just a sample of 10 and then you are generalizing to a whole population of say 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs, you are taking very small sample. So you can't generalize it. So you are lacking in external validity. So the sample can't portray the behavior of whole population. So that is lacking in external validity. Okay, internal validity का क्या example था? Polls तो तुमने बता दिया, right? Internal validity का कोई example दिया था मैंने?
Ma'am, advertisement of TV and
Right, advertisement and there was advertisement. क्या extraneous variable आया था? Advertisement check कर रहे थे हम और क्या? Dependent variable?
yeah, sales of TV.
Yeah, sales of TV we were checking, but we were checking in that what month? क्या extraneous variable था?
Festival seasons.
Yes, festival season. तो हमारी जो sales होनी चाहिए थी उससे ज्यादा वो sales थी, and that was not because of our independent variable. It was not because of the advertisement that we consider as an independent variable, but it was because of extraneous variable, that is festive season, that was impacting the dependent variable, that is sales. Okay, so coming to reliability and validity, पढ़ोगे कब तुम ये? मिड टर्म तो आ रहा है तुम्हारा. Reliability and validity. So results are consistent in reliability, and whereas in validity, results satisfy objective. For example, reliability means you are repeatedly giving you the same result. You will say these results are reliable. First time मैंने result conduct किया, test conduct किया, and I got a particular brand as most preferred. और top 3 brands, मेरे जो top 3 preferred brands थे वो कुछ आए. Second time मैंने conduct किया तब भी वो top 3 ही आए. That is called reliability. And what is validity? This is right way of collecting data, जो अभी हमने discuss किया. How you collect data, internal or external validity. We have already covered this. Okay. So you can go through this reliability, validity, sensitivity, all these things. This is already given in your book. If in case you counter any problem, in case you feel there's any doubt, then you can ask in next session. Next as in next to next session. Okay. So this is what we have covered.
मैम
for-
Likert scale एक बार फिर से बता दीजिए.
Okay, so Likert scale. Likert scale is your rating scale. बहुत commonly use होता है Likert scale. Yes. So for example, using microcomputers improves my job performance. You have to rate this statement on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 means strongly disagree and 5 means strongly agree. This is Likert scale. So, and this is a type of itemized rating scale. Why itemized rating scale? Because for each rating, you are defining it. 1 means strongly disagree. You are giving the description basically. 2 means disagree to some extent, 3 means uncertain, 4 means agree to some extent, and 5th means strongly agree. Zaruri nahi hai that you just restrict to 5 point scale. Okay, you can go to 7, you can go to 11 also, but then that is done only if you have those certain parameters in your mind. कुछ प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरीज ऐसी होती हैं जो तुम्हें और ज्यादा सटल वे में पूछना होता है, that somewhat agree, agree to some extent and strongly agree. If you feel there कि इस टाइप से भी और अगर इसे और एक्सपैंड कर देंगे then they are going to come certain results. So on that basis you can also expand it from 5, you can make it 7, you can make it 11 also. Maybe in next class I'll give you some examples for that. So this is Likert scale.
I'm also using icons instead of numbers will be example of Likert scale.
You can use icons, you can but you have to describe it. Sorry, what?
I'm like stars are there.
That's star is given.
Suppose 1 star is for strongly disagree and 5 star for strongly agree.
That is
Instead
also. You can do that. There are different ways. There are various animations also included.
What's that scale which we use while rating an application on Android or iPhone? The App Store, when we rate an application or give them rating, then it's also a Likert scale or some other scale?
On a scale of 1 to 5 is Likert scale. So IMDb.
It's not mentioned. Like suppose if you go to a App Store and you are supposed to give rating to the application, but it's not. There are stars, but it's not mentioned whether 1 star stands for this and 5 stars stands for this.
Okay, you are saying itemized सब जगह mention नहीं होता. Okay, sometimes what they do is उसमें भी कुछ versions आ जाते हैं that you give where 1 stands for strongly disagree and 5 stands for strongly agree. But in questionnaire, this is the right way to ask. Okay, zaruri nahi hai ki whatever they are asking is there's no right or wrong in that, but this is the best way. This is how you should ask this question. कि जितना तुम explain करके respondent को बता देते हो, it becomes much more easier for respondent to answer. So on a scale of 1 to 5, generally, अगर ये question पूछते हो, that is Likert scale only. And then you say, okay, 5 means this, 1 means this, even if you don't give, for each. But generally, that is a good practice to use all these. What I'll do is in next class, I'll show you different types of Likert scale. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, what is the syllabus for midterm till?
So for midterm, it's session 1 to session 14. So after scales, this 2 sessions on survey research and 2 on multivariate. So basically, introduction to research process, research design, scales and measurement, and then your scaling. After that, survey research, and last one is introduction to multivariate analysis.
So, ma'am, the whole syllabus is coming for midterm. So, what is left?
What is left? जो end term में नहीं cover किया अभी हमने. First to 14 session. So 8 sessions तुम्हारे थे जो तुम्हारे C1 के लिए हुआ, and from 8 to 15 or 14 is for your midterm, and after that whatever is sessions are left will be for your end term.
And which session is this current one?
So this is your 10th session.
Okay, 4 more.
Yes.
Important बता दो कुछ.
That Maqbool will tell.
Yeah, take this opportunity to tell what is important. So important is what we discussed. Yeah. Yes, you were saying something.
We were saying that today is Priyanka's birthday and we wanted to wish her a very happy birthday.
We want to wish her a very happy birthday. I'm Priyanka's birthday.
Ritik, निशान को बुला ले वरना next lecture में आगे बोलेगा.
वो next में celebrate कर लेगा.
Also.
No, only Priyanka's birthday is today.
So
Can we wish her?
birthday.
okay, so you can sing the birthday song.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Kshitish Tiwari will do
Three.
the honors.
Come on, come on.
बड़े पहले
3, 2, 1. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Thank
birthday
you, thank
to
you.
you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
Thank
Priyanka.
you.
We'll all
Happy birthday, Priyanka.
Happy
Party
birthday,
दे देना
Priyanka.
सबको.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Priyanka.
Virtual party.
My party.
हन्नी क्या बोल रहा है?
Virtual party.
Shadra man.
Party चाहिए नहीं.
इसको भेज 100 रुपए भेज.
ठीक है, हो गया प्रियंका का बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट. ओके.
50 रुपए की ओवर एक्टिंग का काट.
मैम आपने विश नहीं किया.
हैप्पी बर्थडे प्रियंका.
Thank you, ma'am.
हम इम्पोर्टेंट बता दो कुछ.
इम्पोर्टेंट वही है जो सब मैंने तुम्हें पढ़ाया है. उसके अलावा बुक में भी जो है वो पढ़ लेना. एवरीथिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट. तुम्हारे वैसे भी ओपन बुक टेस्ट है ये, तो थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होना चाहिए.
टाइम भी तो कम है.
बुक ही नहीं आई, ओपन बुक कैसे होगा?
बुक तो मिल चुकी है तुम लोगों को.
No, ma'am,
मुझे
मुझको नहीं मिली है.
गूगल.
दूसरे सेक्शन ने तो बोला कि बुक मिल चुकी है.
मैम सबको नहीं मिली मैम.
तिवारी को नहीं आई मैम. मकबूल को 2 बार आ गई.
बट आई हैव शेयर्ड द सॉफ्ट कॉपी विद यू नो. एक और बुक की सॉफ्ट कॉपी शेयर करूंगी. ठीक है. यू ऑलरेडी हैव सॉफ्ट कॉपी, सो देयर आर नो
बुक से अच्छा तो मैम गूगल पे मिल जाता है, लाइक पढ़ने के लिए मटेरियल्स.
ओके. ठीक है.
हम YouTube लिंक
Ma'am, your
हम
very
YouTube लिंक
smart.
सेंड कर
PPTs are
दीजिएगा.
enough, right?
ठीक है.
Ma'am, your PPTs are enough for midterm.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Ma'am, they are very much, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So then you have to decide. So PPTs will give you a direction. कोई जो difficult topics होते हैं, I cover those using the PPTs. But it's always good that if you give a good read to your book. Okay, जो भी book में है एक बार उसे पढ़ लो. I am not saying that you need to remember each and everything, but it will give you a sense. सिर्फ PPT में सिर्फ एक line पढ़ने से is not going to give you the whole understanding of the topic. And it's very easy if you just go through once. काफी जो सारे डिफिकल्ट टॉपिक्स है वो सारे मैंने डिस्कस करे ही हैं, एंड आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस दैट इन क्लास. ओके.
And ma'am, can
Okay,
you give
ma'am.
us the idea about the case study? I mean, any for the 15 marks? I mean, from which topic or what kind of case study?
What kind of case study? Okay, so case study is basically 4 to 5 questions for same topic. It could be like preparing a questionnaire. It could be like you have to prepare a research design. So whether you are going to do exploratory, descriptive, or conclusive research in it, what all how you are going to collect data for that, who are going to be the respondents, what kind of sampling you will do. So whatever the research design, you can be asked that. It can be questionnaire, you have to prepare a questionnaire. That kind of caselets can come. Or yeah, that kind of questions can come.
Okay, ma'am.
So basically caselet is something that you have, that it is for 15 marks. So yeah, you can expect those kind of application related caselets for that course, for that topic. Okay, so let's take lunch break here. We'll meet after lunch.